Hello again, Dezz Asante here from the Tech Muse Academy with another mixlessons.com video quick tip. This one comes again from the homerecording.com forums from a member who goes by the name Simon96. And this one is a short question, but a big question. And he asks, what is mixing? Period. Or I guess, question mark. And that is a huge question. But what I'd like to do in this little quick tip is to break it down into something very simple that kind of defines the essence from a technical perspective as to what we're trying to do when we are thinking about mixing. He says, let's say I finally recorded all the tracks I needed. What should I do then? And that was his question. So essentially, Simon, the goal behind putting a mix together, after you've done all your recording and tracking and editing your arrangements and so on and so forth, and you've put the instruments away and the musicians have left the building, and you're left with a screen full of audio tracks that make up your arrangement, this is where we begin our mix. And from a technical perspective, what we're trying to achieve is the systematic distribution of all of the elements within that arrangement between the three spatial dimensions. And the three spatial dimensions are, some are obvious, some are not so obvious. The most obvious would be the horizontal dimension from left to right, which is represented by your pan pots. Okay, how you pan these tracks from left to right. There's also the depth dimension, which is dealt with by ambience and reverbs and delays and how you push something further back in the mix, pull something closer to you in the mix. And the third dimension, which a lot of people forget to consider, is the vertical dimension, which is dealt with by frequency content. High frequencies are perceived higher physically, and low frequencies like the kick drum hits you down below. So that's how you distribute elements between the vertical dimension. So essentially what we're trying to do when we're mixing is to distribute all of the elements between those three spatial planes. Now, that's a simple explanation, but within that, you can dig in very, very deep into all of the techniques and tricks and the psychoacoustics that surround how you go about doing this, how to go about creating space for everything in the mix if it's a fairly complex mix, how to go about making sure that the right elements are coming down the center, the sort of sacred space in the mix, as I referred to it. And if you are interested in learning a lot more about what is mixing, starting from what is mixing and digging deep into the technical details, the theory, the fundamentals, the concepts, as I mentioned before, the psychoacoustics, how the auditory system works and how we as mixers create auditory illusions for the sake of this goal of creating an expressive, creative, and emotionally impactful mix. Head on over to mixlessons.com and throw your name on the email list so that you can receive the free video training series that I've put together there called the 3 Simple Steps to Amazing Home Recordings, where we go much deeper into answers to this particular question. As I say, it's a little bit too broad for a quick tip, but go to mixlessons.com, jump on the email list, and I will begin to send you those videos straight away. And while you're there, leave us a comment. Let me know what you think about the videos. Leave us a review. I'm always looking forward to hearing how people are taking this information and using it in their own creative ways at home, in your own home studio, your own lab, as I call it. And so I hope that that brief answer gives a little bit of an insight into what we're trying to accomplish, and we'll see you on the next quick tip.